Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and today we're going to go over the General North Carolina tournament. I just got back from it myself, and we're going to talk about the top 16, the overall layout, and what this could mean for the future of the game. There's going to be a lot of discussion in this one, so I hope you guys are ready to buckle in. There's just a lot to talk about, and I know things kind of seem a little bleak for a lot of players, but I don't think this is the signal for the death of a game. I just think this is going to require some response from Bandai to see where we go next. That being said, if you want to support the video, just like the video, see if we can get this over 100 likes, and just know that I got a lot of content coming up this week between my own tournament run. I got top 64, even though that's a lot lower than what I was shooting for. We had a lot to break down and talk about in that round. I've got 2 deck profiles, one from a frequenter in my channel's Discord and streams, but another one from a local who came from this area. So yeah, we got a lot to go off of, and I am super excited to get into it. So let's get into it. But also, real quick, right before we jump into the list, shout outs to Pro Play Games, George Machado and his staff for not only running a very, very smooth event, but also having these deck lists up this early for people to digest and go over. So this is up on PPG Events Management, and now let's hop into it. We're going to go through this fairly quickly because there's going to be a lot of stuff that overlaps with, 14 Topkus, but we're also going to try to talk about the things that do stand out. So first we're going to go into David Sublet's build, and this one, the couple things that stand out, you got the 1 Beerus for board removal, 1 God Kamehameha for the ability to snipe crucial things. I've been on that for a little bit. I've been telling you guys kind of about that. The God Kamehameha can snipe opposing 17s, it can snipe Vegetos, it can snipe just a bunch of things that normally can just stay upright in active mode and with a 25k body and just not get touched. The 3 Whis here, the Basils are just here to search your cards. It looks like Sublet has the Gohan in here to be able to push through like fat damage in order to be able to set up better for a finishing blow. So I definitely like that. And yeah, that's pretty much this deck list. There's nothing too flashy about that, but you can kind of see the lines. The 2-drop Goku or Gohan is or 3-drop Gohan is very good for clearing the board and contesting. So that's a vibe right there. Next, we're gonna go over to Joshua Sanchez's, and sorry you guys have turned your head sideways, but we've got a total of 3 Android 17s, 4 Android 17s actually. That's actually the kind of change in this list. 4 Android 17s, 2 of the promo Gohan. So I guess people are very high on pushing damage through. And then of course you have, once again, you have the the 3-drop Son Goku. This deck does run a simple Universe 7 for, I guess, some extra pushing power, and it does not run Glimpse. So this is a very interesting way of going about it. No Glimpse. We are Universe 7 for the search. 4 Android 17s, 2 promo Gokus. This is probably the one that I think second most unique one here, but I can see the lines. It's just that this card, this Gohan card, you really do only play it off the leader effect, and I would love it if you could hard cast him for like 3 and he got his effect, and then you could play Ribrian after. Maybe I'm just asking for too much. But next, we're going to move over to Mesquite Khan's Vegeta deck list, and that is going to be something a lot of you guys want to see. I've been talking about Vegeta and Trunks doing well for a little bit, and while I did not like the Gotenks engine, you guys can see that he has used it here to recycle quite a bit of combo power. The things I do want to touch on is that, of course, we all know that Sickle's good. We all know that the Vegeto 3-drop is good, allowing you to do things. I very much so wanted to see this deck in action to be able to see how the Vegeto Blue Secret is utilized, because I kind of have mixed feelings about that. But I do like the Final Hope Slash in here because it allows you to get in a little action with bouncing back certain things like your Pilafs before they can be messed up. Like Final Hope Slash allows Vegeta to recycle some cards on a level that Trunks would be able to. And it doesn't really matter too much until you get into late game, but it provides a lot of damage as well as the ability to recycle things that Red can normally just snipe. Next, we are on Jonathan Rodriguez, Gomez's Son Goku list, Topku list, and once again, this is a turn your head to the side kind of moment, but this one seems fairly streamlined. The first thing we're going to notice here are the 2 Kava blockers. They're 25k power. They're hard to remove. Anything in 25k generally needs a little bit of stuff, a little bit of oomph devoted to it. You definitely do want to have your, and there are some things 25k and upright, 2 minus effects normally have to go into it, or sometimes even more depending on how it works out, and that is going to be a deciding factor in how easy they are to stay on the board or not. 3 glimpse I think is the correct move. I had 3 glimpse for the longest time, switched it down to 2, regretted it like 2 mirror matches in. I was like, oh no, this is not good. But you got 3 Son Goku, 3 drops here, and I definitely respect that. And yeah, this one is a pretty solid pass end. Once another time you have the Gohans here as well. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And then we are going to go over to the Hamza Alfredi. And this one is another streamlined one. You've got the God Kamehamehas, you got 2 3-drop Son Gokus. We are looking at, after this one Whis is a little surprising to me, but the real standout is the secret rare Goku here. I don't know if that really got it in, but in testing, I just found that there wasn't a lot of time to tap 4 and then kind of shoot for that. So I am kind of wondering about how that worked out for him. But again, there's still so much testing. You'll find there's a lot of different ways to build this deck, and only some of the things are like cemented in stone. Like I think 3 glimpse is automatic. I do think that, like, of course you have to play your Roshis. I think that 4 Basils, because of how important Kefla is just the play. But yeah, you got 417 here. I just think that there are certain things set in stone and a lot of wiggle room. We're gonna move over to the next one. This one is actually Andrew Dorings, and you have this one. It's also streamlined. The 1 glimpse is very surprising. That card is supreme. You've got 4 Keflas, but it's a 10k. I get that. 3 Gokus, that's pretty standard. We're gonna be looking at the Catapeslas, that's cool. 2 Gohans against standard. My cat is kneading on a plastic bag for some reason. Can you please? Yes, you. 4 Basils, 4 Piccolo, 2 Whis. I mean, you got the deck thinning. Some people would say deck thinning is winning. That one's pretty standard. Then we've got Giovanni's Vasquez is one. Looking at this, 3 Gohans is what I landed on too, but 3 Gohans and 2 Beerus. This guy was trying to clear board immediately. 2 Glimpse. Once again, I think going to 3, but you can see this deck is a little bit more removal heavy in terms of the Beerus and the Gohan, because they kind of serve the same purpose, and sometimes you can get caught lacking trying to get up to 5 energy to tap out for Beerus. Sometimes Beerus can win the game, sometimes Beerus can just get you killed. So that's pretty cool. Congratulations to Giovanni. You got Elvis Vu, and his list right now, this is also a pretty streamlined list. 4 3-drop Gohan is actually the standout card here, plus 1 Beerus, 317. You got yeah, of course, like I said, 4 Basil, 4 of the Son Goku. All right, like it is what it is. Like I went on record and I said I did not like this Son Goku because like whenever I played against it, it was just kind of popping my hits. Sometimes it popped Whis, which was cool as well. But I can see this. It pops Gohan too, and normally Gohan is like a remove under any circumstance kind of card. You just have to get rid of it. So I can believe in that. I can definitely believe in that. Then we are going to move over into Jonathan Peterson's list. And looking at this one seems pretty streamlined as well. I don't know the 2-2 split of the super combo. I guess that was just like a preference, but everything in here, this just seems quintessential. You could or could not run the Beerus. He's got multiples of the he actually has no Gohan 3s, which isn't bad. He's got 3 of the Son Gokus, 2 Whis. Yeah, nothing about this list. Oh, sorry, it's up at the top. Yeah, nothing about this list stands out. It's all streamlined. I think correct numbers of glimpses, Gohans. The Beerus is the tech part. 217 is actually what I settled on after the event. I wasn't quite feeling it because of a couple reasons I'll kind of get into for my own separate video. Then what we have next is Caleb Albert, and he is running Topku as well. What you have here is 4 Roshis, 3 Beerus is surprising to me. 3 Beerus, 1 God Kamehameha, 3 Glimpse, I can feel that, 3 Ribrianne, 4 Catapescal is what I'm on, 4 Whis is what I'm on. I definitely like those numbers. But 4 Beerus is kind of a lot to me. Yeah, I think there's it's not like anything bad, it's just like, it's just a little heavy because I don't think enough games go that long, but hey, he did get into the top cut. I think Beerus is a card that I would consider cutting because it's good, but a lot of times, like, yeah, tapping out for that 5 is later in that game versus the Topku mirror, hands can get a little dicey, like in terms of your combo power trading back and forth. So charging up to 5 is essentially losing a card in your hand, then playing the Beerus, and then discarding 1 for Beerus. You're essentially losing 3 cards to wipe the board, and then sometimes that can just be murder she wrote if they can line up a singular poke to get rid of your 3rd life, followed up by a Ribrianne. So But we can see. I can probably always just message him and ask him what's up. Then we've got Nicholas, aka It's Your Boy Vic, coming in with this build. Right off the bat, the craziest part about this is the 3 Tournament of Power Arena. That card apparently just really he was high on it, and he said it was like really cool. But like I said, I actually have the deck list itself. Like I have the deck profile ready to be made into a video, so I'm gonna probably drop that tomorrow along with the next positions Beerus deck profile. So looking at the next one, we have got the Beerus deck by Doug. Like I said, he is a Virginia native. We go to the same locals, and yeah, I got his deck profile in detail as well, so that'll be up tomorrow along with It's Your Boy Vix. But yeah, Beerus, the only Beerus to make top 16. Shout out to Jordan Markle for getting 18th place with Beerus. I believe they faced each other in the mirror, and yeah, that happened. But you've got 4 Master Roshis, 4 Whis, the obvious for Awakening, obvious for just the compound minuses. 4 hits for the Self Awakening, 4 Caulifla for the Self Awakening. Self Awakening strong. 2 Fula just for the 10k as well as the minus 15. 4 Catapesla because he's a beast and he can spread out his stuff. You got 4 17 here. You got the double strikers. The rest of it looks pretty standard, but yeah, the thing about this goes deeper into why you would play Beerus in conjunction with all this removal and whatnot, and the top end that Kefla provides, or the mid game / draw engine top end that Kefla provides. So we'll go into that deeper in his actual deck profile that'll be on the channel tomorrow. And then we've got Michael Peck on Son Goku, and once again, nothing here stands out terribly. Wait, okay, this is the weirdest spread of super combos ever though. You got 1 Shin, 1 Ribrianne, and 2 Kabas, but it's preference. Now there is the secret rare Goku here, so once again, that is pretty cool. We are going to be able to reduce things by 5 and attempt to swing in. We definitely got to see if it's tried. It's cropping up in some of these lists. I just again want to know how many times it does crop up, because right here, just in a list like this, you've got 1 2 17, so that's 2 0Ks. You move over to 3 4 5 6 0Ks. Okay, so right now we're looking at it's this one's a little interesting because he separates the normals from their alt arts, so I have to kind of keep looking back and forth. But you've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 0Ks with 3 glimpses. So I guess at the end of the day, it's only going to be 9 0Ks, and that's not, or 9 blanks, and that's not bad at all. Lots of people are playing like 11 or more. But hey, yeah, I like this list. I want to see if this tech works out well. That's just pretty much my only question. Next, we're gonna move over to the one of the Hill Twins. We got Eric, and he is playing a nice build with the Kaba blockers teched in, just to basically make sure that you don't get rolled by last minute Ribrianne plays. Very good. You've got the 2 3-drop Gokus. You got God Kamehamehas. I'm telling you guys, this card is gas. It is the removal that you need for a lot of situations. I've been on it for a little bit. 3 17s, 2 Gohans, 2 glimpses. This deck is pretty good. It's pretty streamlined. You got your super combos. I can't really. This is like standard quintessential. Everything is streamlined. 4 Ribrianne, 4 Keflas. This deck is getting pretty close to max value, like max rarity. It's almost there. So yeah, this is pretty intense. It's pretty intense. Then we get to go and look at Colin Wong. Again, this one is, yeah, right off the bat, this one's streamlined. 3 Glimpse, 3 Gokus. That's pretty much it. Like, this one's not much to talk about. It's just solid consistency, and that's what you need across a tournament, for real. And then you have Duval. Once again, a turn your head kind of sideways moment. But Duval definitely is on the same package. I mean, him and Jonathan Rodriguez Gomez, they are testing partners, so their decks look very similar, if you notice. But you got the 2 Kaba package, 2 God Kamehameha, you've got the 3 Gokus here. And so yeah, once again, you have Goku and God Kamehameha taking care of a lot of removal. Goku plus Whis will take care of a lot if you have them on board. They don't prioritize Whis as much, and I can understand that. Piccolo is not a part of this build. I definitely think this deck has so much gas that you don't need Piccolo. You just draw into gas. It's the Keflas that you want to find. So I do understand that. Right here, you've got the 2 3-drop Gohans that are powerful, 2 Catapestles that are powerful, 3 Cauliflas that are powerful. I think there's a lot to say here. 3 17s is pretty cool. You have 4 or 3 Ribriannes, of course 4 Kefla, your super combos, 3 Glimpse. Yeah, this is also streamlined. It's just that, you know, Duval's level of skill, innate skill, just kind of tips a lot. But you've got a lot going on here. So shout outs to everybody in the top 6 team. There's a trend you can see here that we are going to get into in the second half of the video. So just, yeah. So a quick word from our sponsors. I am sponsored by Mystic TCG, coolest store in Missouri, one of the coolest stores in the United States. They do it all. They have events. If you're a local in Missouri or you're close by, they have their own locals, obviously. They sell all the TCG product you could want. They also buy singles, collections, as well as prize cards. So really, Eden does it all. You probably saw him if you were at North Carolina. He was one of the 2 vendors next to you know, PPG themselves and then him, Mystic TCG, at this event. So yeah, really cool dude. And you can use my code UniXTCG to get some discounts off of your pre-orders and orders for them. But if you're above the border and live in Canada, I also have G3. They also hold their own events, their own locals. They have some Discord events going on, and they house one of the most competitive Dragon Ball Super Masters teams that exists in the game currently. So just a bunch of cool people. They also buy cards, and they sell a plethora of TCG needs, and you can go down in the description and use my code UNIX to get 5% off of your orders or pre-orders. So with that being said, I will see you guys on the other side of this content. Let's keep going. So a lot of you guys are kind of sitting here wondering, what the heck happens from here? I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news, Bandai is normally not that quick to e-ban. And while Japan, America, and Latinum just had Topku win their events with Topku saturating the entire tournament, Bandai, I don't see them fixing this or addressing this before Chicago. Like, I could be wrong, but we do have a tournament in just under a month in Illinois, and we also have another one a week later. I think it's Peoria and Rosemont. So I don't see Topku being addressed by then. Now that's the tip of the bad news. The good news that comes before that is that, yes, I do understand that everybody wants to be able to play the deck you want to play. I do think that every now and then, you know, in a card game, you have to kind of just suck it up. Like last format, blue could not be played because green existed. Right now, green cannot be played really because red exists. But at the end of the day, the thing I can say is that the Topku mirror is very skillful. There's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of people playing it more or less, like, differently. There's lots of tech you can put in there. But the Topku mirror is definitely more skillful than a lot of mirrors I've played in a while, and that actually gives it kind of a little bit of an edge because that means that you can deck build better and you can practice harder. And if you grind out that mirror and understand how to play it better, and then maybe, you know, show up your matchups versus the Masu, show up your matchups versus Beers, I think that you can really get there and place and get some prizing. That's not going to be a consolation to most people. That's a consolation to me, because I am fine locking in and making sure my mirror is airtight. Like I said, I played 4 mirrors, I only lost against 1, and I just didn't see a 4th glimpse coming, and we can get better than that. So I'm going to buckle down, and I am going to both events in Illinois. However, when it comes to this Topku thing, a lot of people are like, okay, well, if this is a tier 0 format. And I think that Topku is nearing a tier 0 format. The only reason why I won't say tier 0 is because coming from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, from my findings, in my opinion, I guess, a tier 0 deck is when only a tier 0 deck can face it. Like, when the deck's only answer is play itself, that's when I think you're in a tier 0 format. And right now, I think that Beerus has a very good matchup into Topku. And for the moment, Zamasu seems to have some legs as well. I'm not going to say Zamasu is big yet because I do think that a lot of red players don't understand how to play against Zamasu. So I think that's a whole thing. But blue has a very weird position where if you keep swinging on it with attacks that it can break with 1 card, being 15k from Gallic Gun or a 10k, blue will stay at the same 7 to 9 cards in hand the entire game while removing your board over and over again. Zamasu is a bit different because now that Zamasu is 20k, your 30Ks, up to 30Ks, are still going to be in that range of, okay, I drop a singular card and it's over. So once they start getting things like Zamasu 4s on board and they start drawing and they start poking you and whittling down your hand, they will be a grinder that just can survive for a long time. But this is to be seen. There could be more testing on that front. Past that, we are also looking at a very much so Topku saturated format. Not only because it's so strong, people like playing a lot of cards for free. Lots of people do. You can find that in any game that has a resource. When you start playing cards for free, people like that. They have fun with that, and that's why that sort of deck style is going to be pretty fun. But when it comes to Topku and addressing it and how to work on just how it could be trimmed, I have a couple things in mind. One, people talk about banning the leader. I don't think they can outright ban a leader. There's 4 leaders in the set. I think they're going to try to do everything in their power not to ban it. Some people say Kefla. If Kefla goes, I think red as a whole just suffers, and it's not the end all be all of the Topku deck. Like if Kefla left the game, red would be a worse color, and Topku would definitely be a worse color because that's his best play. I personally think an errata, and hear me out, an errata that said discard 1 card, the next red Tournament of Power card you play costs 2 less. I think that would actually be a very, very, very good way to balance it, because that means your Keflas cost 2 to play. That means your 3-drops, like the 3-drop Gohan, 3-drop Kefla, or Catapesla, those cost 1 to play. So once again, just discard a card from your hand. Next TOP red card costs 2 less. I know that'd be a lot because that's a whole text change on a card for an errata, and that's gonna be really rough for people to get used to. But I just, from a designer standpoint, like from a standpoint of like how would we make this more balanced, I think that's it. Kefla for 2, 3-drops for 1, and then that makes your 2-drops like Caulifla potentially be free. That makes your 1-drops, I don't know why you discard 1 to play a 1-drop, be free. But that would make Ribrianne cost 2 as well. Ribrianne and Kefla would cost 2. And I think that's exactly where the deck could go to better balance it. Let me know if you think that's the case. Otherwise, I think banning Kefla would not be, or not banning Kefla, banning Ribrianne would not be bad. Ribrianne Glimpse is one of the most toxic things in this format. I'm serious. Like, the amount of games that I either ended or had my game ended by, oh, you're at 2, Ribrianne Glimpse, is insane. Ribrianne Double Glimpse is darn near unavoidable game on 2 life. Like, already your Ribrianne is base 75, and that doesn't count the 2 10Ks you picked up with Glimpse. Using Glimpse and using 2 10Ks you probably picked up, Ribrianne's base 95. Or sorry, base 90. Base 90, and then you put the rest of your hand into it. Your opponent, with 4 super combos in hand, 4, gets up to 100. So late game, when you're scrapping for advantage, if you ever get to 2 life and they have Glimpse and Ribrianne, you're just likely dead. And that's the rough part about this. So I do think there's lots of room for these decks to tighten up. I do think that there's a little bit more room for format exploration. Beerus is probably going to be a little bit more popular coming off of this going into next set, because a lot of people want to not play Topku but still want to win. So I see Beerus coming up, especially with one Beerus in top 8 and another Beerus at 18th place. So I think that could be a very much so thing, but Topku is going to be very, very popular. So you either have to try to specifically make sure your deck can play against it, which I think is going to be very hard outside of the color red and maybe Zamasu. I think Trunks gets there too, but again, like, there could be other things you could face like green, and Trunks could fold. But I think that green's going to be a little scared after this. Green shouldn't be showing up in tournaments. So I think realistically, you're kind of right now looking at Topku, Beerus, Trunks, Zamasu, Vegeta as your deck list of choice right now. Like, it is a red-blue, it is a red with a hint of blue kind of format. And I think that Bandai does not like when this many decks are coming in at the same angle. So I do think we're going to get this addressed. The only question really is if we are going to see it addressed by Illinois next month or not. Either way, I'm going to be practicing. I'm going to be locking in. Expect better things. Top 64 was not where I wanted to land, and so it just won't be my floor next event. Next event, we're going for top 16. So thank you guys for watching. Congratulations to everybody in the top 16. Thank you guys on the Patreon for joining in. We've had a great time. We're going to keep cooking up more content. And just watch out for tomorrow. We've got 2 deck profiles coming in, and then I think after that I'll have my tournament run, and then after that we're going to keep talking about more and more things in this format. So with that being said, I will see you guys later. Peace.